What's up, guys? So today we're doing something a little different. We're going to be introducing a new video series. We're going to sprinkle in from time to time.
We did it.
We did it. Yes! My buddy Rudy's joining me, and we're going to be talking about different car topics. Today, the topic is 5 underrated Japanese cars from the 90s. Our first car on this list is a first gen Mitsubishi 3000 GT VR4. So the production years of the first generation was from 1990 to 1993. Had a lot of cool little features on it that I feel were way ahead of its time. So it comes with a 3-liter V6 dual overhead cam known as the 6G72. Twin turbo. So the first gen is the only one that had pop-up headlights, so that makes it cool, of course. And it had active aero, which also carried through this second generation as well. I have recorded a video of a 3000 GT VR4, a first generation. His name was Ben. That video is on my channel. Shout out to Ben. But anyways, so these cars were 5-speed manual, all-wheel drive, limited slip differential, and they had 4-wheel steering.
It's crazy.
You're crazy.
That was pretty fun on the street. Unfortunately, when we recorded his car, we didn't have any windy roads, but we could change lanes pretty fast.
Yeah. Four-wheel steering.
That's badass,
dude. See it? Oh, yeah. No, I saw that video. I remember y'all talking about that, and I was like, you got to go like north, go to Austin. But I mean,
yeah.
But anyways, like it was pretty dope. Like I didn't know about the 4-wheel steering. I mean, that's pretty cool.
So in Japan, this car was known as the GTO.
Oh,
it wasn't the 3000 GT.
I didn't know that.
No, in Japan it was the GTO. So I would imagine bringing a GTO to America. I mean, we have a GTO.
We have a GTO.
So that's probably why they didn't call it a GTO.
Oh, really, fool?
So the next car on our list is a Nissan 300ZX Z32. We're going to focus on the US spec and the twin turbo model. Now, they did offer this car in Japan, sold as the Fair Lady Z.
Okay.
I had the VG30 DETT, which stood for twin turbo, the TT at the end. And it was V6, 3-liter, dual overhead cam, 24 valve. It was rear wheel drive. And it was twin turbo models in the US. I had to talk to a couple people. I asked Mauricio. Shout out to Mauricio. I filmed his car on my channel.
Go check it out.
Go check it out. Yeah, and he confirmed it. So the US spec ones that were twin turbo were T-tops.
Okay.
And the slick tops, or hard tops they call it, were non-turbo. They're NA in the States. So these cars had HICUS, they call it, or 4-wheel steering.
Okay.
That was similar to like what the Skylines had.
So what does that stand for?
So HICUS stood for high capacity, actively controlled steering.
Okay.
So they had to put a fancy phrase in there, a little catchy phrase, instead of just, it has 4-wheel steering. I guess that's cooler to say.
More pinky up.
Right? But this car was rumored to make 300 and maybe a little over that. So,
to me, like in person, looking at these cars or seeing a car, it looks wide.
It is pretty
I don't
wide.
know how to explain it, but you look at the pictures, like, man, it looks wide. No, it is wide.
But I think these are the best looking Zs. Like, they're beautiful cars. So the next car on this list, the Subaru SVX. Some people may be wondering, what the hell is that? So this car was introduced in 1991, but sold as a 92, and they carried that all the way to 96. And then there was some 97 models, but they were runoffs from the 96 and just sold as 97s. Coolest aspect of this car and the most noticeable thing is the windows, which we had talked about.
Yeah, the windows are very unique on this car.
So it has a split window situation with the front and rear window. The top part of the window is fixed, and the bottom half of the front and rear window lowers down. Kind of like a DeLorean in a way.
Kind of, yeah.
It kind of gives me those vibes. And the funny thing about it is, like, this car has so much glass all the way around it. It's all glass. There's no metal showing where the windows butt up. There's metal, something behind there to keep it structural with the pillars, but it's glass all the way around.
It kind of makes sense when you look at now cars that have the rain cars like mine.
Yeah.
That little trim over it, so you can crack the windows and
Exactly.
And
it's same concept, I believe.
Yeah, they're very unique. Like if you see one, you're gonna double take it. Definitely a thing.
Oh yeah.
The first thing hits you is the windows.
So this car has the 3.3 liter boxer engine, known as the EG33. So at the time, this was which I think it still might be for a boxer engine.
The biggest one.
It was the largest boxer engine.
Yeah.
So 3.3 liter. Unfortunately, at the time, they didn't have a manual transmission that can handle that torque that it produced. So they were all auto. I don't think that this is a car that people highly modify because I don't think the aftermarket support is there. Yeah, but you said people swap motors.
Yeah, some guys are starting doing. Speedy did it with one of his STIs. The newer one's the Raptor Eyes, which is the latest STI.
He took this boxer, this six
motor,
six boxer motor, and put it in that one.
Put it in that one. Turboed it. It's making a lot of power.
Right.
He's still tuning it right now.
Right.
But it's a cool concept of the car itself.
And it's popular at Redwood.
Yeah. there was that one clean we saw. Well, I think you said there was two.
I think there was two there.
I saw one. I was just like, I spotted it right. I was like, oh, I'm gonna go look at this.
Yeah, I think they're so cool. But yeah, they made about 230 horsepower supposedly. They were all-wheel drive.
Yeah.
Now they did make a front-wheel drive model in 94 and 95, I believe, like an option. Another thing we talk about, like, you know, they get it in Japan and we don't. Well, this one, supposedly the JDM model of this had four-wheel steering. The US one did not.
Yeah. I've seen some cars like people do try to mod them, mostly just suspension and wheels, and they do look really nice.
Yeah, to me it's a cool car. You just get in and just drive around.
Yeah.
You know, you're not trying to make 1,000 horsepower.
Yeah, exactly.
You just drive it and enjoy it.
I like it.
So the next car on this list,
never heard of this one.
the Nissan Pulsar GTI-R. This car, unfortunately, was another one sold in only Japan.
Of course.
We didn't get it.
Yeah.
he gets pissed off about that, which I mean, it sucks. This car had a SR20 DET, so it was turboed. It was all-wheel drive.
Okay.
So that was cool, and it had the Ateza system like Skylines had, GTRs had back then, where you could adjust the power, you know, from front wheels to back wheels, or 50-50, or however you wanted to do it. This car would do it. So it would do 0 to 60 in roughly 5 seconds.
For that time?
That was quick.
That was quick.
And I think it weighed like 2,400 pounds.
And it's a hatch. That's crazy.
Yeah.
So it has everything that everyone wants.
You know, similar time to when the R32 came out, the GTR. So it was, I've heard people refer to it as the baby Godzilla because R32,
I can see why.
R32 GTR is the only Godzilla because it was the OG. But this was baby Godzilla.
I mean, that's what people want, you know, something light, all-wheel drive, turbo. Let's go.
Yeah.
But this is cool. Definitely, I never heard of this car, and I want to see one.
Yeah,
I definitely want to see one.
They're really neat.
Yeah.
Really small.
Yeah. Dude, 0 to 60 for 5 seconds for what, 1994?
Yeah, and they had right around 230 horsepower.
All-wheel drive, man. Yeah, we got shafted.
So the next car on this list, I know you had talked about you'd never heard of it.
Never heard of this one.
And I'm sure a lot of people haven't. But I think it deserves to be here because it is the Mazda Eunos Cosmo. And it's really
a cool name.
Yeah, it's a cool name. I love the way this car looks. To me, it has like S13 coupe vibes.
Yeah.
Like the way it kind of looks.
It definitely does. From looking at the picture of this one, it does look like it. It doesn't look like a Mazda at all.
No.
If you heard about this car, put it on the comments that you heard of this. I never heard of this car before. It doesn't look like a Mazda. Not trying to say it's not a bad thing.
Right.
I'm honestly surprised that I haven't heard about this car.
The only car offered with the 3-rotor, the 20B, turboed, made about 280 horsepower. We had the gentleman's agreement, of course, but these cars seem like they make 280, maybe to 300, somewhere in there, wheel horsepower. But it was turbo, 3-rotor. Now there was a lower end model that had the 13B, but we're focusing on the 20B. So unfortunately, this car only came auto. Now I don't know if that was like the SVX, where maybe at the time they didn't have a transmission that could handle that extra torque. I don't know, but no manual. Now I have seen people swap these things to manual, but not from the factory.
It could
no
be
manual.
It could just be the fact that it's supposed to be a luxury car.
That's a good point too. Yeah, it could just been because it's a luxury car.
Just put it in drive and go.
Yeah, I mean that's a good point. Luxurious Mazdas of that time. This car had twin sequential turbochargers.
Oh shit, TT.
Right? So it was really cool, and I love this car. But I love it for the fact of it had some of the craziest technology at that time, which we now have in a lot of vehicles.
Cars, yeah.
But at the time, this was the first car mass-produced car that had a GPS system.
Dang.
It had touchscreen on the radio, like the screen. Climate control was on there.
Nice.
The GPS. And dude, it was
phones, everything.
It was awesome.
Probably one of those big clunky ones.
Yeah, probably, but yeah,
dude,
radio, CD player, all that.
Damn! When you really think about it, the engineers of Mazda is like, you know what? Let's give it the best motor, the biggest motor. Let's make sure it's turbo. Let's make it rear-wheel drive, and make it look really clean.
Yep.
That's insane.
Yeah.
I mean, the only downfall is just automatic, but like you said, people
4-speed automatic.
But people are converted them.
Mm-hmm. Yep. But this thing's neat.
Oh, 100%. And I'm pretty sure this is probably cheaper than going and buying a body of a FC or FD.
Probably. I would. Yeah. Maybe. I don't know. Because I think they're starting to get a little more popular now.
People are finding it out.
I think that's why this car deserves to be on this list. Just the first time with GPS, the luxury.
It looks amazing.
3-rotor. Like, I mean, how can you not like this car?
Does anyone have one around here? Have you seen anyone?
I have never seen one of these in person.
I'm going to keep my eye out now.
I think they were in Gran Turismo. If I'm not mistaken, I think they're in the old Gran Turismo. Like maybe GT2 or GT3.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken.
The problem is, like, back then, like, when you're a kid playing this Gran Turismo, it was like, you always go to that car you never know. Like a Skyline, Evo.
Yeah, and that's
they probably had this on there, like, I don't care about this car.
Which that kind of brings my whole point home, what you just said. Like, you know, we love the Skylines, the NSXs, the RX-7s, you know, Silvias, all that stuff. We love those cars, but...
The iconic ones that everyone knows. But
yeah, but we also love these underrated...
You gotta look at the underdogs.
The underdogs here, man.
That thing is clean, dude. I love it. Yeah. I think so far this is my favorite one out of all.
I think this is probably my favorite on this list, too. That is 5 underrated 90s Japanese cars. A list that I've come up with. Some of them are sold here, some of them are not. Yeah. But I think these are really cool cars that deserve a little more shine than they get. And I think they're just getting more popular and maybe going up in value more as the times go on. Because I think people are noticing it as well.
Let them know which ones y'all like. Put it on the comments below.
Yeah, let us know. Let us know if you agree, if you disagree. Maybe there's some cars you feel should have been on this list. But we plan on making a part 2. But this is just 5 cars that I picked for today.
I think I only knew about 2. Yeah. 2 of them. That's about it. The rest I didn't know. I'm glad I didn't know about this one.
Right.
This is cool. I like it. The futuristic about it. So,
comment down below what you think, and we will see you in the next video.
Peace.
Peace.